So just finding a comfortable position to relax down on your back, letting the legs go long. You might also prefer to have the knees bent or maybe the soles of the feet together with the knees open. So just letting the legs relax and soften where they feel comfortable, letting the arms relax and soften, and start to close the eyes down. Just make any adjustments in your body that you need to here, and starting to find relaxation. So as you're lying here and feeling into the softness of the body, you might also notice that there are areas that don't feel so soft. There are areas that feel a little bit tense or a little bit restricted. So just take this time to notice everything in the body. Noticing the air and the space around you. Just as you're lying here, noticing anything else that might be drawing your attention. And start to be aware of how the breath is moving through the body. In by the nose and out by the nose. And with the eyes closed down, just really start to bring yourself to a place where you're feeling like you're not in your home, like you are just in a space where there's nothing that's going to distract you. There is maybe even imagining emptiness around you. That can be challenging to do when you're not in the practice room. But this is another element of our practice that we can begin to hone in on and improve. Noticing now the breath and emphasizing the rise and fall of the abdomen. Really filling up the belly and then letting it soften. Filling into the lower belly. You also have the middle portion of the belly, the upper belly. And each time that you breathe in, you can take in a bit more space. Even through the sides of the abdomen, there should be this expansion. Just breathing softly, but intentionally. Taking a few more breaths like this, emphasizing the expansion through the lower belly, middle belly, upper belly, sides of the belly, the lower back area. Last breath or two here. And keeping the eyes closed down, just resume a normal breath. I want you to start to feel the arms slowly reach out to either side and allow them to continue to slide along the floor until you feel the arms reach all the way to whatever is behind you. And then we'll go back down again. So slowly the arms, like you're making a snow angel, but just with the upper body. Maybe you've never made a snow angel before. Maybe you've made a sand angel. And the arms slide down. We'll do this with the breath now. So as the arms go out, there's going to be this natural tendency to breathe in. Notice how the arms pull the ribs open as you reach to the top of the mat. And as you exhale, the arms will close down, which naturally closes the ribs. Take one more like that. Notice if the breath wants to be really big and loud, or if it's just a little bit more subtle in the body, reaching up. And then slowly, as you exhale, allowing the arms to come all the way down beside the body. We'll come into a nice gentle spine twist. So start first by just bending both of the knees, soles of the feet flat. Lift up the hips and move them over to your right, lowering your bum down again. And then you can either bring the soles of the feet closer together, rather the insides of the feet and the legs together, and then drop your knees over to your left. Or you can choose to lift the knees into the chest and then have the knees drop over to the left. So one will bring the knees up higher, which puts the twist of the spine up higher. With the knees down lower, it puts the twist of the spine a little bit lower. So it really just depends how it feels for you. You can also turn your chin over to your right. Feel free to open the arms wide, cactus the arms, maybe reach them over the head. Just finding a position where you can start to soften and relax. And you'll notice if you need any props in the body, perhaps maybe having something close by, like a pillow to put between your legs or underneath your knee that's touching the ground. And we'll slowly draw the head back to neutral. And from here, just any way that you would like to, coming out of the twist. Let's go into the other side, feet flat, lift your hips up, shift them over towards your left, lower the hips back down. Either bring the legs together, drop the knees, or lift the feet off the mat, squeeze the knees close to the chest, and then let the knees twist over towards your right. Opening, especially through your right shoulder blade, it can get tucked underneath the body easily. So let it open towards the right, and then maybe turn your head over towards your left. Arms coming into wide T, cactus, or just wherever they fall. Softening into your twist. Staying there for a few more breaths. Feeling the shoulder blades soft, but also expanding. You might notice if you're holding tension in any areas of the body, that tension is obviously, something that we work throughout the duration of the pose, but it can be a response and a reflex, a way to protect. So if we're conscious and we're aware, we can release that tension. One more breath here. And let's slowly reposition the head, gently coming out of the twist in any way that you would like to, just lifting the hips and then bringing them back into the center. From here, we're going to create fists, and we're going to push down right through the tricep muscle and the fist face up towards the ceiling. And then we'll lift the feet off the mat. We'll make figure eights with the legs. So keeping the knees and the feet together, we'll start first by angling the knees down to one side and then up and through. So if you haven't done this before, then you can follow me. Knees are going to go down towards the left, up towards the left fist, and then the legs will cross the face. And then down towards the right, up towards the right fist, and bring the knees into the face. So do it again, down to the left, up towards the left fist, into the face, and then down to the right, up towards the right fist, in towards the face, and just keep going like that. Now you can choose to have the heels as close into the buttocks or as far away as you want. The further the heels are away from the buttocks, then the more challenging this is going to be for the abdomen. And the closer the heels are in, then the less weight you'll feel with the legs. So more compact will be less weight. Legs longer is going to be more weight for the abdomen to carry. Couple more like this. Keep using the arms into the mat, pushing down the elbow points. And then we'll finish into the center here. Let the arms relax beside the body. We'll take the legs into the air and just start to give them a little bit of a shake. Now, if it's really hard for you to have the legs in the air, remember the knees don't have to be bent in this position. Okay, we're just sort of letting the feet be completely passive, and we're kind of bending and unbending the knees, and that's what flops the feet. So just letting those feet go floppy, the calf muscles will flop. So as I was saying before, if you feel like there is, you know, a lot of challenge in holding the legs up here because hamstrings are tight, you can bend the knees more. You do want the feet to be up above the knees rather than parallel with the knees. You can also choose to put a little towel or a pillow underneath your sacrum area, just underneath the bum, which helps to hold the legs up here. Just a little bit more shaking. And then we'll pause here. We'll take the arms up into the air as well, and then let the wrists flop. So the backs of the wrists are spacious, no wrinkles there. We're still trying to hold the legs up. This position might be more challenging to hold the legs up in. So again, pillow or sort of a little towel rolled up underneath the tail can help to create a lift so that it doesn't feel so challenging. We're looking for this drain from the feet, this drain from the hands, so that there's kind of like this drop down towards the back of the hips and towards the back of the shoulders. Just a few more moments here. You might be feeling what I'm feeling, which is my toes kind of feel almost cold. My feet, they go a little bit yellow because all the fresh blood is rushing away in towards the torso. Couple breaths again, staying here right at the end. Maybe deep breath in and out. All right, good. We're gonna take the legs and we're gonna kick the heels up towards the ceiling. Now with the arms, you're gonna hook the thumbs underneath the buttocks to give you just a little bit of a lift. Elbows can bend, hands palms flat, flex the toes. And what we're gonna try to do, if the legs aren't straight here, totally fine, no problem. Okay, they can definitely bend if the hamstrings are not ready for this. But we're gonna try and push down through the hands to lift the flesh of the bum off of the back of your hand. Try not to have the legs go over you. Try to keep them lined straight up towards the ceiling. We're going to take 5 pulses up. So push down through your hands. Try to stomp your feet to the ceiling. Lift up 5 and lower the tail down. Lift the tail up 4 and lower the tail down. Lift the tail 3 and lower down. Lift the tail 2, lower down. Lift the tail 1 and lower down. Good. From here, we're going to take heel taps. So let's take the left heel, tap it down to the ground. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Go. Right heel, tap it down. Inhale, bring it up. Again, left heel, bring it up. Right heel, keep the legs strong, bring it up. One more each side. Left heel and bring it up. And again, right heel and bring it up. We'll do 5 more lifts. Push the soles of the feet up, lift the tail 5 and lower down. Push up 4 and lower down. Push up 3 and lower down. Push up 2 and lower down. Push up 1 and lower down. Let's tap the left heel down to the ground, and this time you're going to draw the chin in towards the chest, round the spine for 3. For 2, kicking the heels for 1. Let's swap the legs. 5, 4, 3, push the hands. 2, kick the heels. 1 and swap again. Hold, pause, kick the heels, swap 1 last time. Hold, and pause. Finish by letting the head relax. Inhale, bring the right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. And from here, point the toes towards the ceiling. Bend the knees and wrap the arms all the way around the shins. Get yourself into a really tight, compact position. You can wrap your hands around the outside of the elbows. Let your head then start to relax onto the mat. Now, if hips are feeling like they're overly compressed, shoulders are tight, the spine is a little bit tight, then your posture might look a little bit more like this, where you're just grabbing on with the hands. Maybe you have a big gap underneath the neck. What we can do for that is try to imagine the back of the spine flattening, flattening, flattening down. And you might get a little bit more of a grip. We want to imagine that the hands are like a frame. So we don't want to loosen the frame, otherwise we'll lose what's inside of the frame. The frame is really helping the picture being created like a canvas. So you want to keep the hands gripping tightly while you simultaneously try to drop your chin down, shoulders down, feet relax. Use your exhale breath to feel the tail connect closer to the mat. Right at the end, drop your shoulders down away from your ears and down towards the mat. Freeze. All right, let's let the legs go. Let the arms go. Relaxing here. Find the breath. Feel that nice flush of blood through the hips. You can even feel it through the arms and the hands a little bit here. Pausing just to notice. All right, we're gonna work into our sit-ups. So draw the feet together, toes and heels connect, legs will stay straight. Flex the toes towards you. Bring the arms above you and hook your thumbs, spread your fingers wide. Bring the arms all the way over the head, pull your chin down. Feel your abdomen engage, not because you're tensing it, but because you're trying to bring your lower back closer to the mat. Keep your chin into your chest, and the next time that you breathe in, try to curl up until you reach forward and your fingers maybe tap your toes or your shins, and then exhale, lower all the way down on the spine. Reach the arms long. Let's do this 2 more times. Kick the heels. As you inhale, look into your belly, coming up. Really look into the belly. Dive, 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 dive. Exhale, tap the toes or tap the shins. And then uncurl. Try to keep your arms with your ears all the way down. Last one, reach the fingers, chin down. As you breathe in, sit up. Curl all the way in, grab onto the toes or tap the shins. Exhale there through the mouth, get it all out. Let it go. All right, good. Lifting the chin up. From here, we're gonna open up the legs nice and wide, coming into a separate leg sequence here. So you want to kick through the heels, flex the toes all the way up towards the ceiling, and you might have the knees bent. No problem, that's fine. You might have the legs a little bit closer in towards you. What you can do for this situation is really pull the flesh of the bum out from behind you. If you have a prop, you can sit on a block. You can also take your hands and you can slide your fingers kind of underneath your bum a little bit, or even just push yourself slightly forward. So from the side, we might be a little bit like this to correct that and to try and tilt the pelvis. Push the hands down to lift the chest up. Totally okay if the knees are bent. Otherwise, legs can start to extend out. Okay, from here, we're gonna come into just a little bit of movement through the torso. So we're gonna have the chin look over the shoulder and we're gonna twist over to the right. Now, if your hands are not on the ground, then you can take a twist a little bit deeper through the body. Fingertips might connect in front of the chest. Otherwise, if hands are on the ground, you can keep them behind you and just twist through the shoulders. Okay, let's go to the other side. Twist over to your left. Again, you might have fingertips connect. Flex the toes. And again, twist over towards your right. And again, twist over to the left. The twist doesn't have to be super big, okay? Just enough to feel it. and then coming back through center. We're gonna take the left hand into the middle of the mat or just down in front of us, wherever you can reach it. Again, flexing through the feet, and then open up the left to the left side so that, or to the right side, so that your right arm is reaching all the way back, and you can use that hand in front of you as a little bit of a lever to push and twist. Good, and then swap sides. Twist over to your left, reaching the left arm back. Use the eyes, look back. Drop a hand down, open and twist to your right, look back. Keep the legs engaged. Okay, drop that right hand down, open and twist to your left, reaching back. All right, good, come through center. From here, we're gonna take a few little pulses over that right leg. So we're gonna pulse first, just the chin down, 1, chin down, 2. Maybe walk the hands a little bit further. We'll go shoulders down, 1, and chin, shoulders down and chin down, 2. Inhale, come up. Maybe the hands go a little bit further. The shoulders, the chin, and the chest down, 1, shoulders, chin, and chest down, 2. And the final one, walk your hands as far as you would like to. Whole body is gonna pulse down, 1, pulse down, 2. Inhale, come up, come over to the other side, frame that leg. Just the chin, pulsing down, 1. We're on the left side now. Pulsing down, 2. And come up. Walk the hands a little bit forward. It's gonna go chin and shoulders now. Pulsing down, 1. Pulsing down, 2. Inhale, come up. Maybe the hands walk a little bit further. Pulsing down, the chin, the shoulders, and the chest. 1, come up. Pulsing down, 2, come up. And then walking the hands as far forward as you would like to. The whole body is gonna pulse, 1 and 2, and come all the way up. Good. From here, put a little bend into the knees. Use the hands underneath the knees to give you a little bit of a break. Soles of the feet can come together. Give yourself a bit of a rock from side to side. We're going to come back into that separate leg movement to be able to come forward in the stretch. So we're going to revisit this again at the end of the class, because we are going to take some movements that will just help to really speak to that groin. So let's take the legs out wide again. This time, we're going to pulse through the middle. We're going to pulse in a slightly different way. We're going to pulse keeping the spine long, and then a little bit rounded, and then really rounded. So tall through the spine, almost like you're going to back bend. You can also use your hands behind you, okay? You can also take your hands in front of you if you would like to, and not use the hands on the ground at all. No matter which you choose, spine is tall. We're going to take 5 pulses here. So a little bit of a pulse, spine long, 5, and come up, 4, and come up, 3, lifting chest, 2, long spine, 1, and come up. From here, definitely the hands will come down, chin dips, shoulders round. You might even take the hands on top of the thighs or a little bit behind you. It's almost like you're trying to bring the crown of the head sort of down to the mat. Pulse 1, and come up. Pulse 2, and come up. Pulse 3, and up. 2 more. Pulse 4, and up. Last time. Pulse 5, and up. Good. Now the last one that we're going to do, you're really going to extend as far forward as you can. So we're going to reach towards the top of the mat. Reach it long. 5, and come up. You might only go so far. 4, and come up. 3, you can look down and then lift up. 2, and lift up. 1, and lift up. Good. Let's grab onto the backs of the legs. Draw the legs in from here. Feet are going to plant. Toes and heels will connect. You're going to wrap around and squeeze the elbows in and dip the chin down in towards the chest. Maybe rock from side to side if that feels good for you. Breathing here. Okay. Lift the chin. Let's open up the feet. We're gonna make our way into a chair pose. So toes nice and spread. Lift yourself up, leaning forward towards the top of the mat. And then lean into your hands to send the heels down. Right from here, lift the body up, coming into your chair pose. Reach your fingers towards whatever is in front of you. Make sure your toes are aligned exactly in front of the heels. Sit the hips back. Notice if you have a tendency in your tail to curl it up or to keep it down and forward. We want to find a middle ground and not try and do too much of what's easy for you or just make it super, super challenging. We want to find that middle ground, sitting for 3, reaching forward for 2, hips back for 1. Let's breathe in, go up towards the ceiling high. Exhale, slowly, slowly. Let the arms relax and release down to the side of the body. All right, so staying in the middle of the mat, we'll draw the toes and heels to connect side by side, and we're gonna take a little bit of half moon movement into the body. So as you breathe in, we'll reach the arms all the way up, bringing the hands, palms together. Let's interlock the fingers, release the index, cross the thumbs, lift tall towards the ceiling. Start to slowly take your body up and over to the right and to the left a couple of times, just in your own way, feeling that stretch through the side body, up and over. Maybe you like to create movement through the front, wrapping that movement around. Again, wrapping that movement around. And maybe coming back into the center if you're feeling warmed up and finished here into the body. So we're actually going to interlock all the fingers and push the palms up towards the ceiling. Reach tall and go up and over to your right. Your hips bump over towards the left. Keep your chin lifted, and you want to really imagine that your armpits are pointing directly to whatever's in front of you. Your hip bones at the front are pointing exactly in the same direction, and you're lifting your right ribs away from the top of your right hip. Soft jaw, lift the chin. There should be a gap between chin and chest. Push through the palms as you reach. Inhale, up to the center. Exhale, let the arms relax down beside the body. Shake them out, and let's come into the other side. So breathing in, go all the way up, interlock your 10 fingers, and then flip the palms as you push high to the ceiling, up and over, pulling this time the left ribs away from the top of the left hip. Feel your legs active, engaged, squeeze between the thighs. Push, push, push through the palms, lift your chin. Find that calm, relaxed breath. See if you can create even more length in the right side of the body. Longer, chin up, both hips and shoulders in one line. Longer, push through your palms at the end. Inhale, up to the center. Exhale, shake it out. Let the arms go. We're gonna take the hands and hover them at the lower back. So there should be a gap between your palms and the lower back. You can start to squeeze the elbow points towards one another. Maybe the chin lifts, holding here. Then you can place the hands, palms onto the low back. As you squeeze the elbow points together, lift your chest, lift your chin. You can start to look up. You can allow your head to go back as much as you would like to. Otherwise, just keep your chest lifted and space in the back of the neck. You can challenge your gaze by reaching the eyes, or you can keep your eyes towards whatever's in front of you. Chest lifts, legs strong, elbows squeezing here. Good, and then keep your hands on your lower back. Draw your gaze forward from here. We're gonna open up the feet, keep the hands on the lower back, and take our chair pose here. So bend the knees and sit the hips back. So you wanna feel that there is a stretch through the front of the shoulders, and that your weight is so far on your heels that you might fall backwards. So you can feel in this position if your tail is sticking up too high or if your weight is too far forward. So you want to feel almost like the hands are allowing space in the lower back area. Holding 3, sit back. I know it's hard for the shoulders to sit back and 1. Inhale, let it go, reach and sweep it up. Exhale, we're gonna forward fold, come all the way down. Walk it out, bending the knees right and left to allow for that opening through the lower back. Move the head around, let it all go. Okay, so we're gonna come into our open chain forward fold. So from here, bring the feet as close together as you would like to, and you're gonna make sure that you're able to actually create a connection or a closer proximity between your belly and your thighs. So do that by either bending the knees and or opening the feet more, which is fine. So bend the knees, allow the belly to drape down the thighs, and then start to reach your fingers to whatever is behind you. So in other words, the inside of your elbow or the inside of the arm somewhere is connecting to the outside of the knee or maybe the outsides of the calves. It just really depends on your anatomy and where the body is going for you this morning. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching those fingers like you're gonna touch whatever is behind you, and then wrap the elbows behind the legs on the calf muscles. Right elbow, right hand, right calf, and then left elbow, left hand, left calf. Wrap it around. You can always slide your fingers down towards the base of the heels if that works better for you, and start to create that little bit of pull. Tail lifts, crown of the head drops down, staying here in your body as you draw the face in towards the shins. Keep lifting the tail a little bit up. Keep feeling the whole spine lengthen down. Notice if you've lost that clamping on the calf muscles with the elbows. Keep it squeezed in nice and tight and breathe. Tail lifts. One more time. Shift your body weight just a little bit forward towards the toes. Okay, and let's release from that. You're gonna plant your hands down onto the mat and step back, downward facing dog. Fingers are spread, tail is lifted, and you're feeling into that bounding down energy through your hands. And a bit of movement can feel nice here, but eventually come into some stillness. Pausing, tail lifts, hands pushing and really being active down into the mat. Breathe here. All right, let's look forward between the hands and just gently lower down all the way to the knees. Come into a kneeling position here. We're going to take our eagle arms. So as you breathe in, let's sweep the arms all the way up. If you prefer to be cross-legged, that's fine. And we're going to take the right arm under the left arm, and we're going to pulse with the hands, palms facing either side. So pulsing for 3, squeeze it. Pulse and push for 2. Pulse and push for 1. And then you can stack those elbows and start to wrap. So whatever hand is in front, in this case, it's going to be your left hand. That's going to wrap around. Hands, palms might come together. You might just hook the thumb. You might place the fingers right at the wrist. Inhale, we'll lift. Exhale, pull the elbows down, chin down. Again, inhale, lift. And exhale, pull the elbows down, chin down. One more like that. Inhale to lift. And exhale to pull the elbows down. Let's see if we can keep the arms here. Inhale, looking forward. If you are in a cross-legged position, just coming into kneeling in your own way, we are going to stand up onto the knees. Inhale, lift up and hold there. So you want to feel that there's an opening into the upper back, and you might shift and change how the legs are situated. Maybe you want them a little bit wider apart. Lift the chest, pausing there. Good, nice opening between the shoulder blades. Okay, draw yourself forward, let the arms go, reach them up, come forward, plant the hands, tuck the toes, hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Spread the fingers nice and wide.
From here, we're just gonna walk into the middle of the mat. So as you walk, make sure the hip that's attached to the foot that's coming forward is the one that lifts the foot. So lift the hip to tilt to walk into the middle of the mat, and the hands will also come into the middle of the mat from here. Let's slowly uncurl to come all the way up to standing. Breathing in and exhale. Okay, taking our eagle legs. So here you can bring your palms into a prayer position. You can bring your hands on your hips, whatever you would like to do. So we're gonna bend into the knees. Sit down like you're in that chair. We'll take first the right leg. We're gonna lift it up. 3, 2, 1. All you're gonna do is take the inside of the right ankle, turn it up, and then squeeze the leg to the right. 3, the left, sorry. 2, and 1. Then you can start to wrap thigh on thigh, wrap the knees, wrap the feet. Wrap the knees, wrap the feet. So from here, we are going to be going down towards the ground. So you can unhook the foot if you absolutely need to, or keep that foot hooked. Slowly, 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 we're going to be letting the hands maybe connect down to the mat. It could be fingertips, okay? You could take it more forward to take some weight off of the leg, no problem. But otherwise, the foot is flat, you're on the fingertips. Maybe your leg is still wrapped, maybe it's not, but at least your thighs are wrapped. Pausing here. Leg is getting a little bit burny. Let's inhale, come up, squeeze the knee into the chest. Good, and then from here, step to the back of the mat, coming into your wide-legged forward fold. Reach the arms up high, exhale, open it, and come all the way down. Just go for a little bit of your own movement here, side to side. Shifting the weight. Okay, good. Let's turn to the top of the mat. Coming into your lunge, plant your hands down and step back, downward facing dog. Tail is lifted, fingers are spread. Take a couple of breaths here. We're gonna do the whole sequence on the other side now. Toes gripping into the mat, fingertips gripping down as well. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, lower the knees down. Come into a kneeling position or cross-legged if you need to. Other side, inhale, reach up. Exhale. We'll take this time the left elbow under the right elbow. Pause and pulse. 3, push and bring it back. 2, push and bring it back. 1, push and hold, stack. Draw the backs of the hands towards one another. In this case, you want to wrap the front hand, which is your right hand, around. Palms can connect. It might be thumb, it might be wrist and finger, no problem. Let's go in, up. Exhale, breathe it out, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more time, inhale, up. And exhale, all the way down, holding there. Notice where the body can just stand to soften a little bit. Maybe it's the jaw, maybe it's the belly. Last breath here. All right, if you are sitting cross-legged, you're gonna have to come to kneeling now. Inhale, lift all the way up, keep the knees and feet squeezed together, lift. If you need to open up the knees, do so, breathe here. Lifting chest, kicking down through the shins and the tops of the feet. So such a beautiful opening into the upper back, feels so good. Elbows reaching further and further away from the chest. Good, okay. And let's come all the way down. From here, leaning forward onto the hands, tuck your toes. Send your tail up and back. We'll then walk to the middle of the mat. One hip lifts to take that foot forward and then the other. Coming all the way to the middle of the mat. Relax the head. Let's uncurl to come to standing. And exhale there. Okay, eagle leg. So hands can be in prayer or onto the hips. You're gonna sit down nice and low. Weight is on the heels. Inhale, we're gonna take first the left leg. It's gonna go up. Squeezing that knee in towards the chest. Then from here, external rotation and squeeze across. 3, 2, 1. And then you can start to wrap, wrap, wrap here. Wrapping the legs. Maybe the bottom foot doesn't wrap. But even if it doesn't, just make sure it's not sticking out to the side. Squeeze it in. Let's look down and slowly allow the fingers. They can hover as well. If you're not able to touch the ground, no problem. Those hands can hover, or you can tap down to the ground for 3. For 2, see if you can sit a little bit lower at the end. For 1, inhale, squeeze the knee up in towards the chest, and then step to the back of the mat, open up the arms long, and come all the way down. Go for a little bit of a sway from side to side. Letting the hips shift. So we will eventually do our full eagle. We're just going to take a few more movements to create some opening into the body. So from this position, we're going to shift the body weight all the way over towards our right foot. So that means that you want to put a little bend in the right knee, walk the hands closer to be in front of the right foot. First, lift up your left heel, then you're only on your left toes, leaning onto your hands. Again, you can also do this with the hands on the knee if you want to. And we're going to take the left leg up towards the ceiling. Again, hands can be down. Then tap the toes. 2 more like that. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Last time, lift, and then lower. Let's shift it to the other side. Walking the hands in front of the left foot, bending into the left knee, shifting the weight to lift your right heel first, then you're just on your right toes. Inhale, right leg lifts up, 4, and lower. Lifts up, 3, and lower. Lift up, 2, and lower. Last time, lift 1, and lower. Walk the hands all the way through the center. Let the head go. Give it a bit of a shake. Let the whole body relax and drop down. And then inhale, lift the chin, come out. Turn to the top of the mat. We'll step the feet together from here. And then let the eyes close down. Just feel into that stillness of the body. Relax. Relax the jaw, soften the shoulders. Feeling the sweats, the heart beating, just coming back to that normal resting position for you. Last breath. All right, let's let the eyes open. So we're going to come into chair again, only to be able to sit down to the ground, okay? So you're going to reach forward, sit the bum back, and then just keep going all the way down until you feel your hands connect down to the mat. Any way that you can get there, doesn't have to look a specific way. So we're just going to be leaning back on the hands. We're going to work on our eagle legs before we do the full thing standing. So let's bring the left foot into the middle of the mat. Okay, we're going to take the right leg up and we're going to wrap the thighs. So you really want to imagine that you're going from the top of the thigh all the way through. Instead of wrapping from this end first, you wrap from the inside. So wrap from up. I've got the thighs squeezing in. Then I've got the back of the thigh connecting to the top of the other thigh. I've got the back of my knee connecting, then the calf. Then maybe you start to wrap that leg around. When we're sitting down, this is much easier to do. You can also use your hands a little bit to help to wrap the legs around. Now you might find you get a little bit further in this position on the ground, or you might find it's still just a little bit, you know, that space, which is fine. So whatever you can do to create some of that wrap, this is really good for the ankle joints, knee joints, hip joints. It's meant to be really good for the reproductive organs as well, creating just a little bit of that squeeze in. So we're just gonna stay here for a few more breaths. Now doing this when we're standing is a different story because we have all that weight on the bottom foot. Okay, so just being patient with yourself, but knowing that this is where the body might be able to go, but it's harder to achieve when you're up standing. All right, let's let that go, and you can fancy fan the legs if you want to. So now you have the left leg up, okay? And then you can squeeze it and bring it over, yeah? So I sort of started with the legs straight, but you can definitely just bend it all the way. So first we're working thigh action, then back of the knee action. Then you can walk that bottom foot a bit forward and then wrap the foot around. Maybe you use your hands to just encourage the leg to wrap and then feel into that wrap. So when we're standing, what often happens is the inside of this foot, the instep of the foot, it often collapses down, which means this knee is going that way and those toes that you're going to be standing on are going that way. So what we want to do is push weight onto the outer edge of the foot, keep the ball of the foot down, lift up the instep, and align the knee with the toe when we stand. Now this will often bring the hips out of alignment, which is okay because we want to be able to keep that knee in alignment. Now the other option to this is that instead of having this knee completely in alignment, it can be just a little bit curved in, but make sure that you notice how it feels in the body so it's not creating any strain on the knee that's not needed here. Last breath. Okay, good, and then let's unwrap it and release it. So feet will be flat. Let's shift a little bit more towards the back of the mat. And you're gonna come forward onto the feet, lean forward onto the hands, lift the tail up, and then walk the hands into the middle of the mat. Hang the head and give it a shake. And then inhale, coming all the way up, breathing in. And exhale, let it go. So now we'll take our full eagle, arms and legs are gonna go together, okay? So we're not gonna take as much prep time in between. We're just gonna swiftly go into it. And we'll do 2 sets of each, all right? So let's breathe in, the arms go up, taking the right elbow, right arm under the left arm. So arms wrapping first, then sit down. Right leg up, over, squeeze, wrap and twist. See if you can realign the bottom foot so you have space in the instep of the foot. Maybe you like elbows high, maybe you like elbows low. Find one spot to focus on. Sit a little bit deeper with the tail. Lift a little bit higher with the chest and release. Squeeze that right knee up and then drop the foot. Inhale, reach high. Other side, left elbow under the right, cross the arms and twist. Bend the knees and sit low. Take this time the left leg up and over, squeezing the thighs, wrap the foot. Try to draw your thumbs towards you, the pinky fingers towards whatever's in front of you. Slide your ankle down, especially if you're wrapping your foot around the back of the calf, no gap between ankle and calf. Chest lift, sit low, elbows can go down or up. Good, release, inhale, take it up. Okay, last one on each side. Now for this last one, before we do it, you can combine the arm and the leg movements together, or you can do them separately. So together, it would be the right arm and the right leg are going together, okay? Or else you can do it separate. We've got about 3 breaths on this side. So if you're not sort of there yet, just take your time. It's right elbow under and right leg over. Okay, release, inhale, lift the knee, reach it up. Last side, if you want to blend the movements, you can, otherwise separate is fine. Left elbow under, left leg over, sitting low. Lift the chest, hips back. 3, last time here you guys, 2, 1. Inhale, lift that knee. Open the arms all the way up. Exhale, open up the feet. And drop it down here. Beautiful work, you guys. Walk the hands forward. Walk the feet back, lifting your tail high. And breathe into your body. Fingers spread. Tail lifted, pushing down through the hands. We've got one more pose with our eagle arms. So again, let's walk into the middle of the mat. Walking the hands to meet the feet. Bend the knees. Now from here, we're gonna do eagle arms from this position. So sometimes this can work better for us. So let's take the right arm under the left arm and come into your eagle arms. Good. Then from here, lift up halfway. Pause. Let's shift the body weight over to balance on the right foot. So balancing on the right foot, a little bend in the right knee, and we'll take the left leg to go back. Finding balance. Imagine the crown of the head lengthening forward and the heel or the toe reaching back. For 3, relax the jaw. 2, soften the breath. 1, drop the foot down. Drop the body and unravel the arms. Let the head hang and shake it out. Okay, last one here. Lift the body up a little bit to wrap the left arm under the right arm. Okay, and then from here, inhale, lift halfway, pause. Bending the knees, shift the weight over to the left leg, and then take the right leg back into your balance. Maybe a bit of wobbling. I know there's a lot of wobbling for me going on right now. Kick through the heel, reach through the toes, long into the spine. Pause, soft jaw. Okay, let that leg lower down. Release the arms and drop the head. Right away, let's open up the feet, toes angled out. You're gonna come into your squat. So bend your knees and come all the way down. If you have a prop, you can sit on that. If that's still not feeling good or working for you, bum is on the ground, and you can have the feet flat here. So we are going to bring the body forward and through. Drop the head down. And again, if you are off of your bum and you're on your feet, then you'll be reaching forward long. All right, lifting the chin up. From here, we're gonna drop the knees down and forward and then lie on the belly. So coming all the way down onto the stomach. We're just gonna take a few movements to prep the opening of the inner thighs and creating a little bit of internal rotation so that we can work into a deeper lower back stretch. So we'll let the forehead lower down, bend both of the knees, flex the toes, and then squeeze the knees together like you're holding something between them, but allow your heels to open apart and your calves to open away from one another. And then try to keep opening as much as you can while squeezing between the thighs and the knees. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Pause there. So it's kind of like a book, opening up the pages of the book. And the spine of the book is that squeeze between the thighs. One more squeeze. Okay, from here, lift the chin. Just extend your chin a little bit forward. We will move the hands away.
But when we come into this next thing, you just want to let the legs relax open. So we're not trying to squeeze the knees together anymore, okay? And we'll cactus the arms and look over to one side. It doesn't matter which side. And then lift and look over to the other side. As the feet open, you might feel like you want to walk the thighs a little bit closer in towards one another. All right, we'll draw the legs up here. Let them straighten. Draw the hands underneath the shoulders and slowly push yourself up. We're going to walk to the middle of the mat. And from here, kneel down. So we'll have the knees still connected. Lean a little bit forward to the hands and open up the feet so you can see they're on either side. And then from here, just start to explore how it feels when the bum comes in between the heels. Now, this might not be something that works at all for you, no problem. So your options are, you can sit on something, that's definitely an option, or you can open up your knees. The nice thing about when we open up the knees is that we allow still the bum to connect to the ground, and because we're going to be going into a lower back stretch, sometimes the connection with the bum to the ground can actually create more length in the spine, especially the lower spine, than the option of keeping the knees together while having the bum lifted. So both are going to work great, but you just sort of have to feel. We are going to be coming forward with the body. So you can do this if it's working with the knees together. And like I said, maybe something underneath the bum, or knees open and bum down. And then we're just going to reach forward. You can be on the elbows on the thighs if that's enough for you. You can be on the hands. You can be with the belly on the thighs. You can reach forward and long and drop the head. So when you think of the heels being open enough to allow the bum to sit down, and then the body reaching forward, it's actually a lot of length that we are capitalizing on in the lower back and in the whole back of the spine. I always think of if I have a ribbon attached from the crown of my head to my tail, and in each position, is that ribbon lengthening or is it becoming shorter? And in this one, it's lengthening because the tail is softening down little by little, and the head is also softening down little by little. A few more breaths. Maybe there's a bit of movement through the head. And let's slowly inhale, come up all the way. Lifting the chin. You can lean forward to lift the hips and then slide the legs. Give them a little bit of a bounce here. You can rub the knees, just rub the hands along the legs. That can feel nice sometimes. Okay, and from here, we're going to open the legs up nice and wide. And we are going to finish in this yin pose. So rather than pulling or trying to strain ourselves there, we're just going to take time to drip, to drop, to relax into this. If you have any cushions or props. You can always use them again underneath the bum, or you could use it to prop you up through the chest. But we will just start to come forward. Now it can be as wide as you want with your legs, as far forward as you want with your arms. Try to relax the head and just come into this idea of really slumping down in the body. Relax your belly. Relax your shoulders. Couple more breaths here. Maybe you take the body a little bit further forward. Maybe the legs are willing to open and widen slightly. Just noticing what progression means to you. Sometimes progression is actually stepping and pulling back from your depth, or the depth that we perceive from the outside. There's depth that happens from the inside that sometimes can't be seen. And sometimes we need to pull back or regress in order to progress. All right, let's slowly come up. Take your time to use your hands to lift all the way. Use the hands underneath the legs to draw the legs in. Bring the legs towards the top of the mat. And in your own way, lie down and relax on your back here. Just coming into your final Savasana to relax and soften and rest. Close the eyes down. Feel your toes, your feet, feeling into your fingers and your hands. Relax. We're starting to bring into your mind's eye the first color that pops in, and allowing that to swirl right from the toes, all 5 toes of each foot, up through the legs, passing the knees, swirling up through the thighs and into the pelvis. From here, big breath in and out. Imagine that color swirling up through the torso, all around the lower spine, the belly, around the ribs, up the spine, around the chest, up towards the shoulders, the neck, shoulders down and soft, that color swirling through the arms, through the elbows, all the way down into the wrists and the fingers, each finger on each hand. Breathe in, deep breath. Breathe out. Finally, feeling this beautiful glow and internal expression on the inside, which might permeate to the outside. Maybe an internal smile, a knowing, a comfort, a feeling of being held. Feel the crown of the head soft. Relax your tongue. Thank you so much for tuning into this practice. Thank you so much for sharing your practice. Just stay as long as you wish, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much.